Blizzard, we have a huge problem, and we gotta talk about this. Now, this symptom of that problem is, of course, the absolute ghost status of PvP currently, but it absolutely highlights the main issue, and the issue that I've talked about plenty of times here on the channel, and that's that WoW Dragonflight feels like basically early access, or as I used to say, underdeveloped. At this point, I'm calling it early access because it was basically early access for War Within, as we'll kind of discuss. I also want to preface this for anybody, non-concurrent viewers, that we are mainly a PvP channel here, so this is mostly from the PvP spectrum, but I also think some things kind of transfer over into PvE as well. So the first point I want to talk about is Dragonflight, especially for PvP, feels like an early access game. And it just does not feel like a full experience to me, something throughout, of course, the lore and whatnot, the world feel, a lot of these things that I think other people have talked about a lot better and can talk about a lot better are true, but I also feel like gameplay wise we were not as in a good state as I think people want to kind of believe, right? We basically kind of lost something without actually getting it in return, and that would be the borrowed powers, of course, and that's also where the trend of kind of underdeveloping and gameplay trends also starts, right? So like in BFA, with all those problems of losing artifact weapons, is where we kind of start with this, okay, we can give them a gameplay mechanic in Season 3, right? That kind of changes the entire gameplay. Instead of entire expansion, right, having these concurrent systems and systems just work throughout the expansion, I think, in a better way. Or as they're trying to finally, do with Hero Talents, give an evergreen system that can, travel through expansions while also, offering that extra bit of gameplay thing that people really enjoy, right? That extra bit of flavor that people enjoyed with borrowed powers, right? But basically that trend also kind of continues into Shadowlands, and I think in Dragonflight it's the most clear. The main thing is going to be the rework of classes. I don't think it was in any shape or way or form fair to give only some classes reworks and then not rework the other classes that also desperately need a rework. In PvP, this is even more, like, how would you say, are a lot more egregious. Like, they don't, Enhance and Frost being, like, the worst, I think, right now, specs in the game. If you don't count for tuning, right? I think by far the worst two specs in the game as far as PvP is considered, but, there's their reworks, right? Of course, it's probably because in PvE, they are doing fine or doing okay, so they don't really have to worry too much, right? To kind of rework those specs. But, Demon Hunter, I don't think was struggling in PvE, sorry. In PvP, we were, having some problems, but we were not struggling in PvE, yet the rework came to Demon Hunters. So, I don't know, it really feels like they are getting used to giving us, like, basically early access treatment. Like, this does not feel like a full game of Dragonflight. I paid, $50, $60, whatever, how much money I paid for Dragonflight. I think I got the Epic Edition or whatever, so I did pay more, but you get what I mean? Like, I paid an amount of money for a finished product. And then I'm not getting that product until what? Season 2? Season 3, I'm not getting, like, all the different little things. Again, in Dragonflight, I think it's... you can kind of can't see it as in the other expansions because we don't have a borrowed power system. Borrowed power is completely removed. Good in a lot of ways, but also bad in a sense that we didn't get anything returned for borrowed power until War Within. So that's why I'm saying is, again, it just feels like Dragonflight is early access for, War Within. Like, all the things that we are supposed to get basically now in Dragonflight, we are basically getting in War Within. Similar with, like, BGs, man. Like, no new BG. We are getting a BG in War Within. We got an arena that's basically an asset flip, so, like, who cares, man? It's not like that took them... Like, I can't give them, like, credit for an asset flip of their own. If they have the assets, they have all the different those things. They maybe did, like, one extra voice line, so, like, yeah, man, you can't, like, give me... Yeah, I can't really give that to them, like, they did something special. By the way, here I have opened, like, I was gonna try and find, like, when was the last tunings. And yeah, man, the last tunings were in December as far as I can see, right? Yeah, the last tunings were basically in December, bro. So I'm not sure if those were actually the last ones, but it's been a minute. At this point we can say it's been a hot minute, man, that we have not received anything for PvP, and the PvP is not in a good state. I don't think we need to talk about that right now. This brings us into tuning. Tuning, I mean, the reason why I want to talk about it is because the one thing that everybody always said that they did good the entire expansion. They're like, yay, they did good tuning. They're like they're constant with the tuning. Okay, maybe this was sassy, whatever, right? But they're trying it, you know. They're trying. They're tuning. Okay, yeah, where are those people now, man? Like, you can't tell me like that they just couldn't have like 3 people work on this 1 week and like one extra like day or something. And it's not even 1 week. I was saying like just 3 people to like be at in January at one point to be like, okay, we need to do something for PvP. PvP has gotten stale. People are angry. People are not playing. People are, you know, unsubbing, whatever, stopping to play retail PvP. Do something about, okay, no, we're just gonna leave it. Okay. So that's why it kind of pisses me off, man, because it really was like a big plus during this almost entire expansion. We were like always like trying to give them a benefit of a doubt. At least they're gonna give us like tuning. It's maybe tuning is not the best, but okay, we're getting relatively frequent. But man, at this point, like, it's like losing all that good faith that they built up throughout. As far as I'm considered, they just lost all the good faith, because at this point, this is just, you know, a very egregious thing. I think very egregious. Now, the only thing that comes to mind to me when it comes to tuning, why like they haven't really like been doing it, is because of like the tournaments and stuff. And man, if that is the reason, if I don't know what was like the PvP, like let's say 100 people who are competing, if we're doing this for 100 people, and yeah, I don't know what to say, man. Like I don't think it's the play, man. I don't think it was the play to keep the meta so stale, to keep the game in a state where, of course, Demon Hunter as such a rage baiting class is just gonna, you know, make people even more angry, and also as like a generally easy class to do damage rate, is just gonna get a flavor of the month moment, right, where everybody just gonna be playing it. I think it's also time for us PvP players to just kind of admit to ourselves that WoW is a PvE game, and unfortunately it's not just about the fact that we enjoy it, it's more about the fact that it's not really in us, right, or the player base. I think at this point it really is on the developer side, right? If the developer side, I think, was correct in the things that they were doing, WoW PvP would be enjoyed by more people. And I think that's the thing that we have to admit to ourselves, that we kind of like a niche thing, and that the niche thing has become even more niche and even more like kind of constricted over time. I'm gonna say like rating like developer side, like I still can't understand how they can 2 seasons in a row, like they get 1 season correct. They get 1 season correct. People get their rating. People are enjoying PvP. Even more people are trying to play PvP because they can actually get like those enchant illusions, the transmogs, right? I feel like Gladiator in season 1 was also like not as considered like a free Gladiator title. Season 2 was already mega giga hard, right? But in season 2, boom, loss of players. Season 3, same mistake again, boom, loss of players. Why did we go back on season 1 when season 1 was like extremely good for us? If it was really again 100 players at the top complaining that now a few thousand extra players have the illusion enchant, that is so pathetic, man. Like for us to ruin the game mode for some little bit of elitism, it is pathetic, man. It is very, very much pathetic. And yeah, I really hope Blizzard's decision with the MMR was not because people were complaining. Because I know some people, oh my god, people have now illusion easily. Okay. I don't know. Like Red Apocalypse to me was more of a verse, like how would I say, scene. So where does this leave us, peeps? Like as PvP players, like that's the reason why I made this video. I kind of want to ask the community, the people, like what do we do now? Like knowing that at this point, really, nothing is probably gonna change, right? We are going into a new expansion cycle, so I'm really like doubtful that we are gonna get significant enough changes to keep it good. Things also like Battleground Blitz. Why is that still like? Why was that being tested for such a long time when we could have like made that into a genuine mode? Could have came in. I mean, I guess maybe they're planning for one of these 2.6, 2.7 patch or something, but yeah, it just feels like some things are just, yeah, overdue for us PvP players. And at this point, I am very much kind of going, I guess, away from PvP in some senses. Like, I've been enjoying SOD a lot more as like a kind of progression thing where you have a kind of a long-term progression, and you know, of course, just doing some BGs, one-shotting people, and you know, getting one-shotted myself. But you know, that's been more fun than, you know, playing the more, let's say, clear PvP done in retail. And as like a final note, this is like more for my consistent viewers. I definitely would not have played World of Warcraft consistently this long in Dragonflight if, you know, I was not doing content. And I want to thank you for watching and enjoying the content, commenting everything, right, liking. I'm thankful for that. It's been very fun, and it's definitely increased my I would just say fun when it comes to gaming, to the gaming side. But at this point, I think I have to admit that it might be time to move on to something, or to move back to something else. But I'm not sure right now. We are definitely still generally gonna keep with the retail and SOD content, just until Blizzard does something. Yeah, we are not gonna have much when it comes to retail, right? And SOD is getting changes like weekly. Every day I'm reading something new about SOD. Yeah, I feel like we're probably not gonna be be doing a little bit more SOD content. So peeps, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things the YouTubers want you to do, and have a nice day.